Kaise ho Elaunaru? Hope everyone is doing great. By the way, a lot of people ask me what is Elaunaru. Elaunaru means how are you. So basically I'm trying to say kaise ho in Telugu as well. Anyway, the point of this video is that finally I'm going to review my car after literally 1.5 years of getting it. It is the new gen, 5th gen Hyundai Verna SX Plus automatic diesel. Itna bada hai naam. But wait, before going into that, in my signature style, let's do the cinematic XOBs 120 FPS shots. Coming up in 3, 2, 1. Hush.
Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Hush.
Okay, so how were those shots? I hope you guys liked it. Anyways, I had 3 cars in mind: the Honda City, the Skoda Rapid. So first I test drove the Honda City, but unfortunately I felt the power was not up to the mark. At least to my personal liking, I did not find it powerful. After that I test drove the Skoda Rapid, which I really liked. No doubts about that. That has one of the best automatic gearboxes, and especially this time I definitely wanted an automatic gearbox, and nothing can compare to the DSG automatic. Skoda has that. Vento was out of question because I don't like its shape. It looks like a box. Personal opinion, personal taste, I don't like it. Verna was last in my mind because actually there were bad reviews about the previous generation. The 4th generation was really a flop. So how did once again Hyundai sneak into my house? I just didn't go by reviews. One of my friends have a 4th generation Verna. It is a good car, but then when you compare it to the Skodas or Hondas. But then I did a lot of research because I'm about to spend almost 15.5 lakh rupees. So I took a chance. I went to the Hyundai showroom and test drove the Hyundai Verna automatic, and whatever I had in my head about the Verna, it was completely changed. It had amazing power. Its handling was really great. My car color, as you've seen, it's a fiery red, fiery orange, I think. Sunburst orange. My favorite color is black, but then maintenance is an issue in the black color. Even small swirl marks and scratches are very evident on this color. White? Not at all, because right now, in case right now you're in traffic, just look around you, or maybe even your car is white. A lot of cars are white. I want something different. This is like totally hatke color, so I went for the sunburst orange. Now let's get into the main review, pros and cons. So in case you guys are watching this phase for the first time, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe. I'm a travel and an auto enthusiast. I love cars, I love travel, especially on my bike. This will not be like a very in-depth review. For that you can go and check out any other videos, but this is gonna be a user experience, how I feel about this car. I'm not going to numbers and figures and all that. I'll try to keep it very simple. Whatever I felt with the car, I'm gonna say it. So talking about the pros, first thing I really love about this car is how can you ignore this? The moment you see this car, you fall in love. I'm talking about the design, the way it looks, the way it's sharp, elegant, it's modern. Any other words? It is definitely a looker. I'm just saying, in case there are 2 cars going on the same segment, people will look at the Verna. Nice, clean, straight, slim lines all across. Looks really chiseled. The second best thing I really like about this car is the engine. That is something you cannot ignore at all. Once you drive this car, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If there has to be one amazing diesel engine, it has to be a Hyundai. The way they refined their diesel engines, it's top of the class. There's no diesel clatter. A lot of people who sat in my car, they thought it's a petrol car. It's that smooth. It's got a lot of power on tap. It's got a lot of torque on tap. 126 bhp, 250 Nm, 260 Nm torque. Being a diesel engine and having a turbocharger, it doesn't have that lag. It has a little bit. First, coming from petrol car, I felt it is a lot, but then slowly I got used to it. Now it's perfect. The next best thing I like about this car is fuel economy. How can I not shout and tell this? I mean, this is the first thing I should have mentioned. Alright guys, just reached the airport. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Check this out. 23 kilometers for a liter. Indian people, we need fuel economy. Even if it's a Mercedes, you want a 5000cc car, but you still need 25 kilometers for a liter. In city driving, like proper P car, 11 is the least. I got 10.8 to 11 kilometers for a liter. And if your traffic is moving around 25 to 30 kilometers an hour in the city, you at least get 13 to 14 kilometers for a liter. But then highway mein, this is the king. Aram se, when I went to Bangalore, I got somewhere around 21 kilometers per liter, but then you'll have to maintain a speed of 110 to 120 kilometers an hour. Anything above that, it comes down to 18 kilometers per liter, but still that is good. One more thing I really appreciate about this car is the handling, the maneuverability. I mean, coming from an old car, it was really evident for me. The car is grounded, it is sturdy, and even if you're maneuvering like left and right, it stays put. This is one advantage of having a sedan. That kind of maneuvering you don't have in SUVs because of the body roll. That's the character of SUV, but it's a whole different purpose. Now, the point that I'm gonna say is something that people usually don't talk about cars, especially sedan cars. I'm talking about the suspension. Do you even talk about suspension when you're going for a sedan car? It was so good. I did not realize till people started talking about it. My friends, my cousins sat in it, and when we went through potholes and all that, they started saying the suspension is very nice and sturdy, the way it takes the potholes, it's really nice. I don't know how to explain it, you'll have to sit in the car to experience that. First, while I was driving this car, I thought maybe all the cars are like this, but no, the suspension setup has been really improved on the new Verna. And when you're talking about Hyundais, one thing you cannot ignore is the features. It is a feature-rich car. You have literally everything in the car that a 2019 car should have. It's got a reverse cam, it's got parking sensors, projector lamps that are adjustable. That's like amazing. The top end variants get the diamond cut alloy wheels, cup holders, USB ports, power ports, storage, rear window shade, ISOFIX seats, automatic climate control, 2 safety airbags, ABS, EBD, keyless entry. This is one thing that my car doesn't have. I'm not really missing that, but in case that was also there, price might have gone up, but then that would be a nice feature. SX Ome, you have that. SX Plus, no, you don't have it. Speed sensing door locks, rear AC vents, cruise control, and one more feature I really admire about this car is having a sunroof. I don't use it much, but it looks really fancy opening and closing it. Power adjustable OVRM LED indicators, and you will definitely feel your 15,50,000 rupees on road Hyderabad is well spent. Where did all this money go? You can actually find it looking at the premium knobs, the switches, the leather finished steering wheel, the upholstery, all that is like on point. Interiors are very good. The way you feel when you touch the buttons, the clicking sound, all that is perfect. And talking about the infotainment entertainment system, the SX Plus, you get a proper 8-inch, if I'm not wrong, I think it's 8-inch touchscreen display. It's got Android Auto, it's got Apple CarPlay, it's got a nice sounding 6-speaker sound system. It's not blasting and all, but for the way I drive the car, for the way I use it, I think I can live with this. Also, one more thing I would like to add is the seat comfort, the position of the seat. It's got its high-rise feel, and this is really good when it comes to city driving. The power steering is very smooth and easy to handle, but then it's also got that nice feedback when you go on a highway. Alright, now all the bells and whistles are done. Now let's get into the actual things that really matter. Let's talk about the negatives. Let's talk about the things that irritate me. Okay, starting with the first thing I really don't like about this car are the brakes. Stopping power is like bad. It definitely stops for sure, but then you'll have to hit the brakes really hard. They are spongy, they're not crisp, they're not sharp. I feel the brake pumps in a little bit, and previous version, the 4th generation Verna, you had 2 front disc brakes and rear 2 disc brakes. But in this generation, they removed rear disc brakes. You have drum brakes on the rear. Maybe that is the reason the brakes are not up to the mark. In case Hyundai has to develop something in the next generation Verna, it will definitely be the brakes. Now, I said the seats are comfortable, right? Yes, seats are comfortable when you adjust it. Recently, I drove the car from Hyderabad to Bangalore, almost 550 kilometers, 4 or 5 hours into continuous driving. I felt my right leg is a little bit paining towards my butt. But then I realized my seat was too agay, so I pushed it a little bit back, and then it was really good. Now the problem is, because I pushed the seat back, luckily it was only me and my wife in the car. If there were 4 people, the person sitting behind me would have a problem. His legroom would be compact. And one more thing is that because I pushed the seat back, the steering should be comfortably here, but then now it's like this. The next thing I observed is night driving, because the lights are bad. The headlights are good, the way the spread is, it's all good, but then the intensity is not up to the mark, which can be done easily. Just remove the stock lights, put a more powerful HIDs or something like that. It should be good. How can I not mention this? I had an issue with this even with my Hyundai Accent, the boot lid. I don't think the Hyundai's boot lid designer has changed since the last 15 years. I mean, my accent is literally 15 years old. It has the same mechanism as the current 2018-2019 Hyundai Verna. The way the boot closes, look at this. Every time I put in big suitcases inside, the hinge of the boot lid, it comes in middle. I mean, there is such amazing space in the boot. I think 450 or 480 liters of boot space. But then what's the use of it if you can't utilize it completely? The suitcase will come in between. You cannot close the boot lid properly. Another small thing that I don't like is the rear view mirrors. They are not wide enough. The field of view, whenever I'm trying to shift lanes, I cannot see the piche car traffic completely. I think it should have more wide angle view. And most sedans, including the Verna, I don't think these cars are meant for 5 members. Piche 3 people will definitely have an issue if they're going for a long drive. Cost of maintenance on all this is actually fine. It's not like really expensive. For example, my second service basically, first service is like free, but then second service I paid 2000 rupees something, that's it, for the oil change, the engine oil change. Talking about service interval, I really like that 1 year or 10,000 kilometers, and the warranty is like really good. 3 years unlimited kilometers warranty. That is the kind of confidence the brand has on its product. Now, one thing I really hate about this car, this gets on my nerves. The way it unlocks and locks, it makes a beeping sound which I cannot turn off at all. I tried all the things that my previous subscribers have suggested. It doesn't work. I did that lock and unlock, pressing them simultaneously, doing all that stuff. It doesn't work at all. The only way you can silence it is maybe you'll have to physically unplug the horn, but then if you want to find your car in the parking lot, you cannot do that. Chalo, then that is my quick review about my Hyundai Verna diesel automatic SX Plus. So make your choice. Once again, like I told you, do not depend on my word, do not depend on any YouTube review, or even your friends or cousins. Do not rely on them. You have to personally go test drive a car, take some time out of your life when you're spending so much money. Whether it's a car, whether it's a bike, doesn't matter. Go test drive it personally, and only then spend your hard-earned money. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye. Subscribe karke jao. Bye bye.